Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories for you. First story is from Addis Ababa. Brigade Hamido opposition Eritrean group members have been seen at their office in Addis Ababa. They're sharing pictures, updates from the office. Secondly, Amhara region of Ethiopia, where hundreds of people of an ethnic group have been in detention for over a year. While we generally talk about Amharas suffering there who are suspected of having links with Fano fighters, the issues of this community are being ignored. Lastly, viewers, Tigray, where we know that restrictions were imposed on withdrawal of cash from banks after a panic spread. $500 million were withdrawn in just 3 days. But the government is trying to control the situation. It has sent additional cash to Tigray, reported. Let's start from Addis Ababa, viewers, where Brigade Nahamato has established its office formally in Ethiopia. Two Eritrean opposition groups have established their formal headquarters in Ethiopia. Eritrean Afar National Congress inaugurated its office in Samara Afar. Brigade Nehamido opened its office in Addis Ababa. From a hotel in Addis Ababa, it released pictures showing Brigade Nehamido people there. This office is located in the heart of the capital city. And yesterday, some pictures were released from this office. The pictures show, firstly, Brigade Hamido flag. The people were seen there with notebooks, telephones, and wireless communication devices. At least one wireless communication device was seen, which looked like a military communication wireless set. Though these types of devices are used by hotels to multi-story hotels. When they want their employees to stay in touch, they use these types of devices. Limited range walkie-talkies are used by civilian institutions too. I don't know if the wireless set shown in these pictures is a military communication device or an ordinary communication device used by civilian organizations which have multi-story setups. But Brigade now the people reportedly are saying that gradually they are receiving support from the Ethiopian federal government. They are telling their people in Europe, in America, that Ethiopian government is providing them all the needed support. Office provided to them, communication devices given to them. They are being told to undergo military training too. They will be armed as well. Their tickets, flight tickets being arranged to, all the cost of their travel is being managed by the government. These Eritrean groups are being run by the Ethiopian intelligence agency. People like Vieninga Brigza were freely moving across Ethiopia. He was seen in three different parts of Ethiopia in the last few days. Addis Ababa, Samra, Makale. Who is paying for the travel of Vieninga Brigza and other Eritrean opposition members in Ethiopia? Reportedly, Ethiopian intelligence agency, Ethiopian government are paying, and the Eritrean opposition groups are busy consolidating their presence abroad, convincing people abroad to come to Ethiopia, and their trainings are being arranged. Preparations are being made to start military training of these Eritrean opposition fighters, reportedly. This is what we have learned. Secondly, viewers, Amhara region of Ethiopia, where Qemant community is also suffering. If you remember, during Tigray war, I had several videos about clashes between Qemants and Amharas. Back then, Qemants were accused of supporting TPLF. It was said that Qemants would wage war on Amharas if TPLF fighters, Tigray fighters, managed to get close to Gondar. And we saw clashes between local Qemants and Amharas near Gondar. Some Qemat groups have been waging armed struggle too against government forces. They are mainly based in Sudan. But during Tigray war, Qemats were arrested. Some had to flee Ethiopia. They took refuge in Sudan. Political parties also suffered. Their leaders, workers were arrested, though they had no connection with the armed movement. Now, over 100 Qemats have been in custody for over a year. A trial ongoing, but trial has not been concluded so far. Around 100 members of Qemat Democratic Party and Qemat Self-Determination and Identity Committee have been in prison for over a year. A trial ongoing in Gondar, Amhara region against them. But so far, no verdict has been announced. Qemats say that they want this trial to be transferred to Addis Ababa. The trial now is being held at regional Supreme Court. They want it to be transferred to federal Supreme Court. They say that they don't expect that they'll get justice in the Amhara region in Gondar. So they want the trial to be transferred to Addis Ababa, but so far trial has not been transferred. And the members of Qemat community suffering. Qemats have the dream of establishing a regional state like Amhara, Tigray, Afar, but they were promised regional states in the past too. During EPRDF era. They were promised secretly that maybe in future they will be given a separate, independent regional state like Tigray, Amhara. Promises were not honored. Amhara groups accused EPRDF of backing army Qemats against Amharas of the area. Now these Qemats are being accused of supporting Fano. They are facing this trial on the charges of treason. And others, some Qemats are being accused of waging war against security forces, working on the agenda of foreign enemies of Ethiopia. Let's see how Qemats get out of this problem. They have been under crackdown for around 4 years now. Since the start of the war, this community has been under crackdown in the Amhara region. They suffered at the hands of Fano fighters, ENDF during Tigray war. Now they are being accused of supporting Fano and security forces, arresting them and throwing them in prisons. Lastly, viewers, in Tigray, an effort is being made to uh, solve the issue of shortage of cash at banks. There is serious liquidity crisis in Tigray. Last month, when Tigray military called for restructuring of Tigray government, and it announced its backing for the Debretsion Wings Party Congress, that led to start of panic in Tigray. People thought maybe a war was imminent, and they started withdrawing cash from the banks. $500 million was withdrawn from banks in just 3 days. Banks had to impose some restrictions. They imposed some limits on cash withdrawal because banks had run out of cash. Now, reportedly, Central Bank of Ethiopia is sending shipments of cash to the banks in Tigray. So the banks in Tigray are expected to lift the restrictions which they imposed on cash withdrawal. By the way, during the tension between military and Getachew, several viewers asked questions. They said, Saji, should we leave Tigray or not? If you remember, I said back then, be fully prepared, don't leave. I'll let you know once situation has reached a point of no return and war is imminent. Some people did flee the area. Maybe now they are regretting the decision. Tension is there, still tension is there, but let's wait. Let's not panic. People definitely are in fear. Why? Because they have gone through a lot. They suffered during the last 4 years. They don't want any new war. So they should be prepared, but they should not leave their homes, their businesses, their properties in Tehran. Thank you for watching.